Okay, so let's kind of dig into those vocals and let you sort of see what I'm doing behind the scenes to get some clarity and some just life out of those sounds. So what I'd like to do is mute the rest of the band. So we're just going to solo essentially our vocals. Start with the lead vocal. And I want to take off the EQ and take the insert out so you'll hear just kind of the raw input as it was recorded.
Till my whole life looks like you. Lay your heart, be my heart, be my heart. Hey, hey. Holy Spirit.
Okay, so a couple of things we have going for us. She's got great mic technique. She's a great singer. It's in tune. She sounds really good tonally. There's a couple of things, though, that I think we can really do to help her out. So with a female vocal, I want to make sure that I have as much clarity as possible. You know, you could hear a lot of mud from the room, a lot of low end. So our first step with any vocal, really any input, is to engage a high-pass filter. So with her, I'm going to engage that, and I'm going to start at like maybe 160, 170, maybe even higher, just to get rid of some of the mud. So I'll start without it so you can hear the vocal, and then I'll put it in and you'll hear the difference. Just a high-pass filter, no EQ.
Be my heart. Hey, hey. Holy Spirit, move and let your love come rushing through.
All that mud, stage bleed, all that stuff kind of just disappears, which is great. But I do want to try to find a little more clarity. So I'm going to take, I've got like a, I don't know, 200 hertz or so, cut that, cut some 400, maybe boost a little 3K and boost a little top end. I'll engage the EQ. Now let's hear if we have a more exciting vocal performance.
Till my whole life looks like you. Lay your heart, be my heart.
To me, there's a silkiness and a top end that just kind of comes to life with that adjustment. So I may even do a little more on that top end. Now, obviously, effects are going to make a big difference here. So I told you before, I've got one reverb and a delay. So let's just engage those and see how that may bring this vocal to life even more.
My heart, be my heart. Hey, hey. Holy Spirit, move and let your love come rushing through to my.
I love the way it puts her in a space and it gives just some extra body and extra life to the sound of that vocal. And especially with this kind of song, you know, the message is, you know, we're calling on the Holy Spirit to move. So putting her in this space that's a little bit cavernous and a little bit mysterious, I think is a good kind of mood to put this vocal inside. So honestly, with the duet vocal, with the male vocal, I'm going to approach it the same way. So let's take his EQ out, take the high-pass filter out, turn the effects off, and we'll just listen to him and apply the same process. So again, we'll start with a high-pass filter, go to EQ, and then go to effects.
Till my whole life looks like you.
High pass.
Lay your heart, be my heart. Be
EQ.
my heart. Oh, Holy Spirit, move. Let your love come rushing through. Till my whole life looks like you. Lay your heart, be my heart, be my heart. Holy Spirit.
So I hope you're able to hear how just, you know, a high-pass filter makes a huge difference. Some EQ changes makes even more of a difference. Adding some effects puts them in a space that's compelling. You know, it's not necessarily a ton of one thing. It's a little bit of a lot of things that can really make a difference. Now, we do have a compressor at our disposal as well. There's a couple of times where you know, whether it's a mic position or whether it's just loudness or excitement, sometimes, the level is not always consistent with a singer. So we have a tool like compression that we can use. Now again, we're having to go outside of the console for this. So we have these DBX 1066 compressors. Same one we're using on bass guitar and acoustic. I have the female vocal on this one and the male vocal on this one. And you'll just hear how the compression kind of just tightens everything up, takes away a little bit of the dynamic range, but adds just kind of an evenness to the sound. So right now the insert is out. I'll just put hers in as we go. Let me mute him so we're only hearing her.
Holy Spirit, move.
Now it's in.
And let your love come rushing through. Till my whole life looks like you. Let your heart be my heart.
Again, I think it adds a little bit of a softness to it, adds some evenness to it. And again, we're only doing, 5 or 6 dB total, which is not a ton because our ratio is only 3:1. So we're not crushing it with compression. We're just using it as kind of an evening agent. So let's put the insert in on his as well, and let's listen to them again.
Be my heart. Holy Spirit, move. And let your love come rushing through. Till my whole life looks like you. Let your heart be my heart. Be my heart. Holy Spirit, move. And let your love come rushing through. Till my whole life looks like you. Let your heart.
So with good inputs and honestly, not a ton of effort, I think we're able to put together a pretty decent mix that has some glue to it and that has some pretty compelling components that can come together to create a pretty impactful and effective experience. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope that you're able to kind of look at some of what I'm doing and apply it to your context. Whether you're on an analog or a digital console, I really feel like it's important to understand some of these key principles: gain structure, high pass filter, basic EQ, some group processing, the importance of a fader. I mean, it's just a lot of little things. But I think going back to this analog workflow can be super helpful just to understand, especially if you're training somebody new, to talk to them about a channel strip and for them to see it sort of in a line. And here's how this signal flow, this chain actually works. I think can be really interesting and compelling. So I hope that you're able to do that in your context. If you work in an analog workflow, I really hope that you'll be able to take away something that's helpful for you and your team.